This podcast may contain adult material. Mature audiences only, please.
Welcome to Me and Mrs. Always Right. I am your host, Me.
And I'm Mrs. Always Right.
Did I mention I was the executive producer, editor, and CEO?
Oh, my goodness. And host.
Host.
Yes.
Coming to you from that little trailer park in Reno, Texas.
Okay, which Reno, Texas? Apparently, Reno, Texas, we have two of those.
Like my personality, there's two Renos.
Yes.
In my personality, there's two people.
Okay. You split personality.
So choose,
Got
pick. Which Reno do you want to be? The one from Paris, by Paris, just to the east, or to the one west of Fort Worth?
Let's do it by Paris, only because you can actually find a little bit of history on that one. So it's older and I guess what I would consider more established as far as Wikipedia goes.
I think the mayors should box it out, and whoever wins gets to claim the name. The other has to change their name.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Do you think we can get them to do that? We'll write them a letter.
If the mayors of Reno are listening, which you should be, this is a fabulous podcast.
Absolutely.
Contact us through email, me and Mrs. Always Right at gmail.com. We'll set up about 5 rounds, nothing big.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, last man standing gets to keep the name.
That'll work. I'm about it.
So,
I am about it.
How was your Thanksgiving? Because this is the after Thanksgiving show.
Post-Thanksgiving show. You know what? I can actually say I had a good Thanksgiving. You know why?
Because we didn't do shit?
We didn't go anywhere. Well, I did. You can say you didn't do shit. But.
Whoa, bitch. Back up.
Uh-huh.
I helped.
You helped what?
With the lights on the house.
That wasn't on Thanksgiving.
I helped you use your dick to put the fucking shelf up.
That wasn't on Thanksgiving.
Well, I didn't make tamales. You're damn straight.
Exactly.
I
I spent all day long practicing, trying to make
fault
tamales.
is that?
No, it's something I wanted to do, and I got to do it.
How'd they turn out?
You know what? I mean, I would eat them. Probably wouldn't feed them to my friends because I'm a little embarrassed by them.
I thought they turned out very well.
But they did turn out. They were edible. I like the cheese ones, the ones that I did with cheese
those were good.
And the jalapenos better than the other ones. I just did not have the correct amount of cheese in them, but I've never made, I can't say that now, but up until that point, I had never made tamales before.
They were
so
fine.
I didn't have a clue.
They were fine. They turned out great. You know what they would go good with?
The garbage disposal?
I think they would go great with peach cobbler moonshine.
Probably anything would go well with peach cobbler moonshine.
After the first jar, you're right. Anything would go well.
You don't even have to drink the whole jar.
No, but I want to.
It is good. And I can't believe we don't have any. You said we were going to have some.
He doesn't have any.
Okay.
He doesn't have any.
I understand it is a process. It takes time.
Well, it is a process, and it has to sit.
I get it. Are we going to have some by Christmas?
I hope so.
Okay. That would be nice.
Definitely the New Year's ride.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
No, what?
Nothing.
Well, what, you backing out now?
No.
So you got the lights up on the house, mostly by yourself because you wouldn't wait.
It was a very decent day when I was working on them. So I did get the Christmas lights on the house. The last strand you did get home from work. You did help me with that, which was a tremendous help because putting those clips on every single light bulb to make sure they're straight is very time consuming. And so you did help with that, and I do appreciate that.
I don't like being on the roof.
No, and that's fine.
Fat guys don't do well in high angled places.
It's fine. I didn't mind doing them. That's why I got up there to do them.
Right,
anyway.
but I still felt bad, and I should have helped, and I did help when I got home.
You did.
And it did help.
It did help. It really did because I didn't have to spend the next 3 hours finishing up what I had started several hours before. It didn't take near as long.
And
Thank you.
Looks good.
It looks really good.
And
Now we decided instead of going on the porch, the corrugated porch that we have, porch covering.
Well, that sounds fucking redneck. But go ahead. Come on over to my corrugated porch covering.
Instead of going over that like we did last year, I would just go along the roof line on the back side of the porch covering, and it looks really good because it's all really straight. It's not wobbly, funky a little bit at the very front of the house.
So you should take a picture from that corner so you can get the wobbly lights on the side of the house. You probably need to do it from the back corner because that tree, I bet you, blocks it. And just post it. Be like, hey, sunshine.
Oh, yeah, we did get a projector light to go in the side yard on the side of the house, and I've got all the lights on it. It's got like 4 different colors, and it's looks like it's just streaming down the side of the house, and it looks really cool.
Is it moist?
It's glistening.
It is glistening.
It is glistening,
but it's not moist.
No, because it's no longer raining.
Where are my shirts?
So it's hanging in your closet?
No, you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean. But your shirts are hanging in your closet.
I have a question for you.
Oh, God. Okay, I have an answer.
You ever been arrested?
I have been arrested. I have. Have you ever been arrested?
Fuck.
More than you have fingers and toes, right?
I've been arrested a lot.
A lot. So it's funny you say that. Today at work, I was talking with some fellow janitors that I work with.
Wait, is it funny that I said it like, oh, that's funny, or hey, funny coincidence?
Funny coincidence.
Oh, I thought I was being funny. Go ahead, ruin my life.
What do you mean? No, you're funny anyway. I think you're funny.
Anyway, go ahead.
So it just so happened today at work with my fellow janitors, we were talking, and they were talking funny stories about run-ins or whatever happenings with the law enforcement agencies, different ones. And this one guy told a story.
Wait, because I am quite sure this story is going to be fantastically funny.
It is.
I'm
pretty
more
funny.
interested because I know the story behind your arrest.
Okay.
And I would like to hear your arrest story.
Okay, I'll tell you that.
And then you can tell.
No, because the one I'm going to tell you is very short, very brief. It's very
So
quick.
do you want to start with that one then?
I want to start with somebody else's story.
Sure.
That he told
power
you.
host.
Exactly.
Pull your dick out. Use your dick and power host.
Okay, so funny you should say that. So this weekend, first of all, I want to get to the saying first because you're fucking hilarious to me.
You fucking really?
So I have this what we call an heirloom.
That's another shirt too. Just so you know.
What?
Use your dick.
Yeah. That's good. I do like that. So I have what I consider an heirloom shelf, and I wanted to paint it and put it up before Christmas, because I was like, oh, it'd be cool to get some Christmas decorations or something up there to make it look cool, right? And so
we needed a curtain over the kitchen.
Right. Well, we didn't need it, but it looks cool on there.
But what are you using right now for a curtain before the shelf went up? Redneck?
I didn't have a curtain.
What are you using to block vision into the house?
Nothing. On the top part of the window, I do have bubble wrap.
Thank you.
But that's only on the top part. That has nothing to do with the bottom. So it's not for
Mrs. Trailer Park Queen. Hey, we got some bubble wrap, Earl.
Anyway, so what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, tell me, what were you going to say?
Well, before you coughed the lung out, I was going to finish saying what I was saying.
We'll go right ahead.
It's too late now. You've ruined it. No,
do
go
it.
ahead. No, fuck it.
Say it.
But no, just go.
Okay, so you're talking about me being redneck trailer park trash.
Yeah.
That's why you married me.
But I said it, and then I just don't want to repeat it again.
Okay. Well, anyway.
No, I married you because you have a vagina. But now continue.
Okay. So I want to put this shelf up in the kitchen because it will go over the window. There's enough room for it to go over the window. It's not crowding any cabinets or doors or anything like that.
It does look good.
So I painted this shelf a light blue. I wanted to paint it blue. I was thinking like Tiffany blue. Not that I've ever seen the fucking color.
I'm a color professional and I have no fucking idea what Tiffany blue is.
Well,
okay?
apparently Tiffany is like a really expensive, like maybe jewelry store or something.
I mean, I know what Tiffany's is.
Okay. Well, apparently Tiffany's, when you buy something, they put it in a box and it's blue.
What? You.
What?
Tiffany's, they put it in a box.
And
You're killing me.
It's some kind of blue color, right?
Yeah, okay.
And so apparently Tiffany blue is a thing. So anyway, I wanted to paint.
Thanks for
You're welcome.
that definition of what Tiffany's blue is. Now continue.
I wanted to paint it blue.
You're making editing fucking horrible.
We have backsplash in our kitchen, and the glass backsplash
Subway
is blue.
tile. Is that like Subway tile, but it's glass?
No.
Oh, whatever.
No.
Like I know. I don't watch enough fucking.
But it's blue. It's different shades of blue. So I wanted this blue shelf. I paint the shelf and I go to put it up, and apparently I mark off how many inches up from the edge and over, so I get it all centered and level and everything. And I'm trying to do this, and apparently I'm not doing it the right way.
That is not what I said.
No. Okay, so we have two different ways to do things, and I
use my dick.
I was doing it the hard way.
With your vagina.
And you come in and you're like, here, do it like this. This is the better way, easier way to do it. And you helped me, and you said that's because you were using your dick.
We were driving screws.
Yes.
We were driving the screws, and they kept slipping on you.
Yes.
Right? And you're like, well, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, I use my dick.
That's true. So apparently I used my dick a little bit.
Yes, you did.
Putting that shelf up. We got it up. I got it up with your help. So we
more
got
like
the
guidance.
Shelf. We got the shelf up. It looks really good. I made a Christmas curtain to go on it. And I did buy a Christmas cactus that's very pretty and put it on that shelf. And I think it looks really good.
Fantastic.
Thanks, honey. Anyway, so that's my shelf story. So other than that, what were we talking about?
Your friends.
My friend's short interaction with law enforcement at one time.
Never short for me.
No, it was very short for him this one time. Apparently he's had a few, maybe like you have.
Who hadn't?
Well, I haven't had that many, but I've had a few. But anyway, so he said he was in like 10th grade, and he lived out in the country. And when somebody has a party, they have a party because they're out in the country. So, the whole town, teenagers come, and there's maybe 20 of them. I don't know. So anyway, but all of them are at his friend's house, and he says he just happens to go to the front door at this one precise moment, open the front door, and there stands Johnny Law. And he looks at him. And now this guy's a bigger guy, but he said he was looking up to what?
Is he wearing a Mount Me hat?
I don't know, but I think that he does have a hat on. So anyway, so he says he's looking up at this officer, and the officer looks down at him, and he's like, son, I'd like to ask you who's in charge. And the guy looks at him, and he says, well, from where I'm standing, I'm pretty sure it's you. He said he just he left. He was fucking out of there. Done with it.
Done, huh?
I was like, oh my God. I was laughing. It was so funny. So funny. I was like, yep, from where I'm standing, I think it's you.
So you got arrested one time.
I did get arrested one time.
For murder.
Murder.
No, you accused somebody of murder.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I? No.
No?
No. Did you? That was technically after the arrest.
Okay. But you still got to include it because
I will.
That's funny stories.
Okay. So I was arrested at one time. It was my fault because I completely forgot that we had gotten a ticket.
No.
Yes. We had before you. I
was wondering who we was, but go ahead.
Well, I thought I'd throw that in there so you knew. We had a trailer that we were using, a car trailer, and my uncle had called and said, hey, can I borrow the trailer? We're like, hey, no problem, cool. We come home from the racetrack and we're like, we'll leave it just right in the front yard. You can come by. He was going to come by the next day and pick it up. Okay, cool. Well, it just so happens Snowmageddon happened.
That doesn't happen in Texas.
Well, yeah, I know. But it did. Everything was basically closed down and nothing was going on. And the vehicle that I had to drive was built on a 4-wheel drive chassis. It wasn't 4-wheel drive, but it was built on a 4-wheel drive chassis. My ex said that he was going to take my vehicle and I could drive his because I really hadn't planned on going a whole lot of places. Okay.
Use your dick in the snow.
I know. Use my dick in the snow. So anyway, the trailer ended up sitting in the front yard for a few days until we could move it. Well, we loaded up for the racetrack or whatever, like the following week. And I checked the mail and we had a ticket in there. And I was like, oh my God. Well, I put it in the vehicle I was driving, which wasn't my vehicle at the time, and forgot about it. Life goes on. Month or so, 6 months, I don't even know. Months later, I'm driving in the middle of the night to Taco Bell because I love that place and the kids wanted it.
I wonder who used to work there.
Somebody, I think, I heard somebody I know worked there. But anyway, I'm going to Taco Bell and I get pulled over. Well, they're like, you got a warrant out. I'm like, for what? And then all of a sudden, damn, that ticket that I got several months ago on this trailer. So they have to take me to jail. So I go to jail and I call the house and the kids answer the phone and I'm like, hey, you're going to have to wake your dad up because I'm in jail and get me the fuck out of here.
I would have left you in there.
They're like, okay. So he comes down, they do their paperwork. I get home, blah, blah, blah. Life goes on. Well, it just so happened in the little town that we lived in, the dog catcher lived a block over and a block up from us. And he was always coming by, looking at our yard, just being nosy as hell. And he actually gave me a ticket for a dog in the yard that wasn't our dog. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I'm like, I'm not paying this. Fuck you, you son of a bitch. I'm pissed. So I set it up for court. It just so happens not long after that, the dog catcher gets beat up. I actually had somebody call me and ask me if I had done it.
He not only got beat up,
he got stuffed in his little dog catcher truck in one of the little cages. I had nothing to do with it. Nothing. But this is how it went with this dog catcher. I get a ticket that is a dog just happened to walk by and he's in my yard and I get a ticket for it while I go to court on it. And I'm like, you know what? Nope, not going to do it. I refuse to give them money for a ticket on a dog that's not mine. So I wait and I wait and I wait when my court date comes up, and I go to court and I'm sitting there and, there's a lot of people there. And apparently they're not going alphabetical order because my name would have been top on the list. And I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait. Finally, it comes my turn. I'm the last motherfucker in there. The last one in there.
Oh.
And they call my name and I get up and they're like, okay, so you have this ticket. Yes. Well, we see where you got a previous ticket too. Yes. Well, what did you do about this previous ticket? This is the previous ticket on the trailer.
I went to jail.
That's exactly what I told them. I said, I went to jail. And they're like, oh, okay. And now this ticket, I said, that's not my fucking dog.
Did you say it just like that?
I probably
Talking
didn't.
to a judge?
I did. No. Now I can tell you, I did have my checkbook. This back in the day when you had checkbooks. I had my checkbook with me to write whatever the fine or whatever was going to be, because I did not want to go back to jail. I was very, very nervous. I did not want to go to jail.
It couldn't have been that bad.
But I was standing my ground. I refused to pay this ticket, and I was like, you know what? I will go back to jail if I have to, but I didn't. I didn't want to. So they asked me what I did with the previous ticket. I said, yes, I went to jail. And they're like, okay, and what about this one? I'm like, that's not my dog. I don't have a dog. That's not my dog. And they're like, okay. They talk to each other for a few minutes and they come back and they're like, dismissed. I could not get out of there fast enough.
Bye.
See you later. Bye. Well, it just so happens I had another run-in with the same fucking dog catcher. The motherfucker lived a street over. Why are you coming down my street? There's no reason to come down my street, but he did. We were in the middle of building this big old dog house because we got this
for the dog you didn't have.
No, we did get a dog.
Oh, okay.
But the ticket we got a dog for the dog. That was not our dog.
Gotcha.
It was, I don't even remember what kind of dog it was. Wasn't our dog. We did have a dog. The dog did not leave the backyard. Anyway, so we're in the garage making this dog house. And I go to get the dog from the backyard so he can come look at his dog house. And
welcome to your new home.
Exactly. We were very excited. I mean, we put shingles on the top of it and everything. It was
not shingles.
It was a nice doghouse.
Huh.
So was it
Tiffany blue?
It was not Tiffany blue.
Oh, okay.
It was like plyboard brown.
Plywood.
Plywood. Anyway, so we bring the dog in there and he's just very lethargic. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this dog? You know, and I'm petting him and I'm like, hey, dude, what's going on? And I found this little spot around his hind leg that's bleeding. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, what the hell? I take him to a vet. I find a vet, 24-hour vet, because it's probably 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And we get there. And unfortunately, we could not save the dog.
Aww.
I know. It was very sad. I was very upset about it. Then I got mad because when the vet called me when I went to go pick up the dog, after, they had to put him to sleep, he's like, you got some issues. This dog was shot with a dart, a dog catcher dart. The way he was
like a tranquilizer dart.
Like a tranquilizer dart,
okay.
Yes. But the vet said that the entry and the way it went in and what it messed up and everything like that, that's why we had to put the dog to sleep. He was shot from behind. Like, let's say you're standing
chicken shit.
Standing behind, with his back towards.
Like he is running away from the dog catcher.
Exactly. I am fucking livid at this point. I'm still very, very upset, but I'm very fucking pissed off, right? I'm like, okay, motherfucker, I'm gonna get you. Gonna get you. Somebody else done beat your ass up. They thought it was me. It wasn't me, but by God, if I see you, it's gonna be me. I was mad. You know what I did? I took a couple of days after we buried the dog and everything just to collect myself.
To get the murder out of you.
Oh, no, it was building. It was building by this time. But I took a couple of days to reflect, and the longer that I thought about it, the madder I got.
That's a hell of a mirror.
Oh, yeah. So I call City Hall, and I'm like, hey, I need to... No, actually, I think I called the police station first. And I'm like, I want to know who is the supervisor for the dog catcher. And, they're like, I don't know. Call City Hall. I'm like, okay. I call City Hall, and they're like, I don't know. I think that's the police station. And I'm like, well, I've already called them. And they said no. And I'm like, okay. I call them back. I need to speak to the chief of police. So I talked to the chief of police, and I asked him, I said, I want to know who is over the dog catcher. And he's like, I'm not real sure. I don't believe it's anybody here. You'll have to call City Hall. Okay.
Again.
I call City Hall again, and I'm getting the fucking runaround. Hold up. I got this covered. I fucking call the mayor.
Oh, not the mayor.
I called the mayor. Well, he actually, I left him a message because he was out of the office or whatever, and I was pissed. He called me back.
Did he?
He did call.
Did he know personally, who he was calling?
The person that called and left a message for him to call me.
Gotcha.
Yes. So he did call me back, and I told him the story about my dog, and I wanted to know who was over the dog catcher. And he's like, ma'am, I'm going to tell you right now that is the chief of police. And I'm like, well, apparently he doesn't know that. And he's like, you give me 5 minutes and he will know that.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. So I waited because by this time it's late in the afternoon, late in the evening or whatever. And the next day I go down to the police station. I march my happy ass in there. And I said, I need to file charges against someone. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, murder charges. And they're like, excuse me? And I'm like, yeah, over the dog catcher. Guess who come to my rescue right after that?
The mayor.
No. Chief of police.
Did he?
He's like, ma'am, you need to come in and you need to talk to me. And I'm like, oh, I know I do.
Oh, apparently the mayor reached out and touched someone.
Yes, he did. Apparently, I went in there and I reiterated that the mayor had told me this whole time he was over him. I was mad. I probably did a little cussing. I get a little vocal and very...
I wouldn't know that.
Very irate when I get really, really upset. So guess what? I filed charges against the dog catcher for killing my dog.
Fuck yeah.
I was pissed. Well, I mean, I never did hear anything over that. But it turns out not long after that the dog catcher did die. Unfortunately, he died.
Of natural causes.
As far as I know, it was natural causes. I
had nothing to do with that.
I had nothing to do with it. So nothing ever went on my murder charges against. But
I would have kept going.
Straight up what it was.
Bring his body in here.
Straight up. I was like, I want to file murder charges against this guy for killing my dog.
You marched in there to the police chief.
I was pissed. I didn't go in and talk to the police chief when I got there because the receptionist or whoever was up front. I told him what I wanted. And the police chief came out to me and said, come back at my office.
So when you were in his office, did you use your dick?
And probably slapped him with it a couple of times. I can tell you that I deliberately after that, started noticing that if I was going down the street, maybe going over the speed limit some, I never got pulled over.
They would just turn around or run away from you?
And I was like, I started noticing that, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do shit on purpose just to see.
No, you didn't.
I did. And you know what? I didn't get pulled over. It was like, if this bitch is going to file charges for her dog, we don't want no part of it. I know it's a very long story.
It was fantastic. Thank you.
I did go to jail once, and I was willing to go to jail again.
You got to stand up for what you believe in.
But luckily, I didn't have to pay the ticket. They dismissed it, and
Wow, that's awesome.
I know.
Well,
anyway,
thanks for being with me today.
No. Oh, no.
Baby, we are way out of time.
No, we're not. You got to tell at least one story.
Baby, I got hundreds of cop stories. Hundreds.
They're all the ones I've ever heard are so hilarious. You're just so funny to me. And my story went from one arrest to getting another ticket and the dog catcher getting beat up.
Well, your stories are
and,
beautiful. Mine are just typical. Oh God. So number one. And I can't remember if I told it. Did I ever tell the skipping school story on here with your future roommate?
I think you may have. I know that you've told me the story several times, but if you want to tell that one quickly and then tell one more, that would be great.
Baby, we're out of time.
No, not really. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you told the skipping school story, so you can tell another one.
The city I lived in at the time, I realized. So I started driving young. But without a license. I didn't get my license till I was 18, but I was driving a car since I was 14. I actually owned my first car at 15.
Oh, wow.
I worked my ass off, got $500, bought this piece of shit fucking Honda Accord, and I drove that motherfucker every 10 miles, put water in it because they had gasket. But anyway, I did it without a license and an insurance.
Well, back then, I don't think insurance was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah,
I forgot you're way younger than I am.
But
anyway.
I didn't actually carry full-time insurance on a vehicle until we got married.
Damn, dude.
Baby, you got to pay what you can afford, and insurance is one of them things, man.
Really?
You go to the general and save some time, but I still can't give that motherfucker $29 a month. I got to eat. You know what I'm saying? just saying.
I got you.
So I would accumulate tickets because I learned that the city I was living in paid $150 a day per ticket.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And you can't make that kind of money. And especially in the 90s, you can't make that kind of money.
At a real job. That's true.
And I always counted on cops' laziness. Cops don't want to do paperwork. I'd get pulled over, get my first ticket, no insurance, no job, whatever. And whatever I did.
Right. Okay.
Right? And I wouldn't go to court because fuck court. And then so 3 tickets turned into 6. It's the 3 initial tickets, and then the 3 failure to appears.
Okay.
Well, then I'd be driving, and I'd get pulled over, and they'd be I learned tell them you got warrants, because then it's their choice whether they want to run it, and 85% of the time you can count on a cop's laziness, right?
Okay, yeah. So you tell me you have a ticket, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck with it. I'm fixing
you write me
to go
3
get
more
donuts.
tickets. You write me 3 more tickets, which turn into 6 more tickets.
Okay,
and this process went
12.
on. This process went on for a while.
Okay.
So me and my ex-wife got into an argument.
Okay.
We got into an argument. And it was getting heated. I didn't want to cops show up to any kind of fight, no matter what it is. Somebody's typically going to jail, and I thought it was best that I exit for a while.
Okay. Yeah, good thinking on your part.
So I get my truck and I drive to this park.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting in this truck and I'm woosahing, right? I'm woosah, and this cop pulls up behind me. And I'm like, fuck. Now, how do I know now? Then what I know now, I'd have told him to go pound sand, because he can't ID me. But yeah, I didn't know then. So he walks up to me, he goes, "How you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, just cooling off." Me and the old lady got into an argument, and he goes, "Okay, that's cool. Can I see your ID?" Sir, I have a couple of warrants out. He goes, "Okay, I'm sure. Well, whatever it is, we'll just deal with it. How many's a couple?" Finger, hand, about 18.
Oh, Jesus.
And he goes, "Can you sit right here?" And I'm like, "Where am I going to go?"
18. That's a magic number. I think you're going.
Is. So he goes back to his car, and he's back there a couple minutes, and then he comes back up to me, and he's like, "Mr. Me." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." He goes, we could have worked out a deal on a couple of tickets, but 18, I'm going to have to run you in.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that when you went back to your car. So I was able to call my ex-wife. She came and got my truck. Told her I wasn't going to be with her for a while because 18's a lot of tickets. And
even at $1, at $150 a day, 18's a lot.
Oh, I'm going to get to that part of the story.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
So we get in the back of this young man's, and he wasn't young, he was old. We get in the back of this old man's car, right? And he's going through the paperwork. So he's going through, and it's screen after screen.
Oh,
I think we went through 5 screens on his computer of him writing down, and I'm like, that's a lot of fucking tickets.
You're like,
he goes, and he asked me, he goes, how you get this many tickets? I'm like, you can always count on the laziness of a cop. And he goes, yeah, I feel you on that one. I'm like, word, right? And
at least you're honest.
Well, no, right? And hey, there's certain times. If you ever have a warrant out for your arrest and it's just traffic tickets, you let them know up front because once they run it, it's confirmed and they have to bring you in. If you tell them you have a ticket, he doesn't have to run it.
He doesn't have to run what?
To confirm the warrant.
Oh, okay.
Right? So he may pull it up and it may show a warrant. But if he runs, if he gets on the radio and he's like, yeah, breaker 19 to dispatch, come on in. I got a hot young man sitting here in his truck and his name's me. And then they run it and they're like, well, yeah, he's got a warrant out. Then you have to bring him in.
Oh, okay.
If he just runs it through his computer and he's like, oh, it's a warrant, it's a traffic ticket, go pound sand, go do something else.
Okay.
So I get to jail. And I get in there and saw the judge, and it was close to $7,000 worth of fucking tickets.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be in there a month.
Oh, yeah.
But I learned, this is where I learned about the system. Once you become, Arlington pays $100 a day per ticket.
Okay.
You become trustee, you get $150 a day per ticket.
Okay.
And at that time, it was for an unlimited number of tickets. So I earned $150 a day.
Okay.
Times 18 tickets. Right?
Okay.
And my highest ticket was $350.
Okay.
3 days. $7,000, I was out the door and free. That is the most fucking money. That is the most fucking money I've ever made in my life.
That don't even make no sense.
My highest ticket's $350 at $150 a day.
Okay, so you're just paying the highest ticket.
I'm paying on all tickets at once. The way Arlington did it, they didn't add up the total amount of your tickets, and you had to sit that out.
Okay.
Each ticket counts separately. All right. So if your highest ticket is $350, then at $150 a day, that's 3 days worth of sitting. And that highest ticket, you're paying on all of them.
Okay. So technically they're paying $150 per ticket.
Per day, per ticket.
Okay, so if you have 18 tickets and they're paying $150 a day
times 18,
they're technically paying you almost $3,000
a day. A day. Most money I've ever made in my life. I shit you not.
Oh my God.
Ever since I learned that lesson, I never paid a fucking ticket in Arlington in my life.
Oh my God.
So now from what I understand, they have modified it and they only go up to 5 tickets. At a time.
Okay.
Because who's going to pay a ticket? Who knowing how the system works?
But the thing is, you have to know how it works.
That's it.
Before,
And what I thought an 18 ticket jail trip was going to be a couple of months taught me a very, very valuable money-making lesson.
You still don't have to pay your tickets and you can go to jail for a weekend and be done with it.
Be done with it.
Wow. But not anymore.
5. Don't get more than 5 tickets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At 5 tickets a day now, that's what they do in that city. Now, I did end up, I did learn the hard way that Arlington was a very exceptional city as far as that rule went. Okay. At 17 years old, I got in a lot of trouble. And through the course of that trouble, I was mandated Alcoholics Anonymous classes. I wasn't believe it or not, at that time, I didn't drink.
At that time, I didn't
drink. I drink like a fucking fish now. But at that time, I didn't drink. And what ended up getting me into these Alcoholics Anonymous classes or these Addicts Anonymous was during the questionnaire for the probation I had to do, they asked me if I ever used drugs. And instead of saying no, I told them twice, and that was it, because that was true. Right. I smoked pot twice and never used any other drug in my life, okay?
Right, okay.
So they're like, well, you need to go to drug counseling. I'm like, what the
Okay.
fuck ever. So I was mandated 6 weeks of drug counseling.
Okay.
And at the time, believe it or not, I had a shitty ass Camaro.
No.
Several of them. But at this time, this one was like really shitty and it broke down and I couldn't get there. So I missed a class.
Uh-huh.
And they told me, if you miss another class, we're going to put you in a in-treatment facility for drugs and alcohol. And I'm like, I'm not even a fucking addict. Well, anyway, I was on my way to and then you had to do like 2 or 3 AA classes a month, right?
Okay.
So I was on my way to one of these AA classes and I got pulled over
Uh-huh.
in this little town and I had a warrant. Or I got a ticket, and then I got through there a couple months later, and that ticket had turned to a warrant. Well, I thought I was just going to sit a day, be done. Not this
Right.
fucking town. This town was bullshit.
They gave you 13 cents a day.
$25 a day on one ticket at a time.
Oh my God.
And this was like the nastiest fucking jail I ever been in. I'll even say it. It's Sampson Park, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Sampson
I've
Park,
heard
Texas.
some bad.
I get in. So this jail, they don't even cook for you. They go to Whataburger, get you the bun and the meat and a drink, and that's your lunch, right?
Okay.
Well, I get in there. I'm with the cellmate, and he's in the top bunk, and he's in there sleeping out. And this dude farts, and he keeps. Now I know how people die in jail because you keep fucking farting.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, oh my God, that was horrible.
Oh.
Stay in jail in Arlington? Fuck, that's a Hilton. That is a
Right.
Hilton. Sampson Park, that's like that rundown Motel 6 on the other side of town. That ain't even it. It's the hourly motel, like the King's Inn or whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck that place.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, so I had to pay, and I think no insurance tickets at that time were $400. So
Oh
at
my
$25 a
God.
day, that's 4 days per 100. So that was a month. That was going to be a month worth of sitting in fucking jail, and I was not. I told my ex, I'm like, let me slow this down.
Uh-huh.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Wow.
That-
Did you get out?
Yep, she went and
Okay.
got me out.
Good.
She wasn't all bad. I mean, we couldn't
Right.
get along, but she did get daddy out of jail.
All right. Well, that's good.
So now that we ran over, and I got tons, you need to write down what police, because man, I got stopped by this really hot cop once in Arlington.
Oh, shit.
Oh, she was fucking good looking.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, we got to take you to jail. And I'm like, are you doing the pat down? And she's like, nope, he is. I'm like, fuck. I was trying to flirt with her.
Oh, I bet.
Apparently that's bribery.
Really?
Yeah. They frown upon that.
Aw. How is that bribery? You're just flirting.
Well, you're trying to butter them up to get them to let you go. What do they call that? A duck? Yeah.
Duck.
the
I'm not a
duck.
duck.
I'm
not
you
a
have
duck.
to tell that story one day too.
Never had
so
been a duck.
hey, to everybody, I did notice last week.
Yes.
Several, not just the last week's episode, but last week for all episodes, we had 93 downloads in 1 week.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So,
honey, that's awesome.
Well, I'm one and you're one. So we had 91 downloads in a week.
Okay.
But I just want to
Gotcha.
tell everybody, if you made it this far to the end, thank you. Keep going. Tell a friend,
Tell an
pass
enemy.
it on.
We don't care who you tell, just tell somebody.
I mean, that's true. If you hate them, we don't give a fuck. You want us to shout out for you? Be like, yo, Henry, John hates your ass.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for listening and downloading. And for everybody who downloads, we appreciate it. We know it's not a show for everybody, but it's definitely the show for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's good, honey. I like that.
You like that?
I like
That
that.
could go on a shirt. Get your fucking ass to work.
Bite my ass.
Oh, use your dick, baby. Get some shirts made.
All right.
So if you have any questions or comments, you can always drop us an email at meandmrsalwaysright@gmail.com.
Complaints.
Go to Trevor the intern.
Exactly.
Well, you forget about him sometimes too, but go ahead.
I know. You can also find us on Facebook or Instagram at Me and Mrs. Always Right.
And become a Patreon member. Keep me in beer. Okay, the stories will keep coming at patreon.com/me and Mrs. Always Right.
I have a feeling the stories are just going to keep coming anyway because you are full of stories and I love to hear
Cop stories? I got a shit ton. A shit ton. I don't know if I told about the time I got arrested in fucking Oklahoma for stealing the car.
Oh my God.
I didn't ever told you that one.
I mean, you've probably told me that.
I don't know if I
but-
told them. Yeah. I mean, I got a shit. I've been arrested everywhere.
I've been
Everywhere.
arrested everywhere, man.
Me and Brian Weatherford.
Bri. Yep,
Right?
Yep.
That was funny. Yeah. Been arrested. I got arrested one time in Euless for walking and minding my own fucking business.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. So lots of arrest stories. So we'll have to break those up when we don't have shit to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, honey.
Hey, I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for putting the lights on the house.
No problem.
And using your dick to hang the shelf. That was a good job.
I'm glad you showed me where my dick was.
And hey, I'm here to teach, okay? And
appreciate it.
Tamales didn't turn out half bad.
No. Like I said, I will eat them, but I don't know if I want to share with my friends.
I hear you.
So anyway.
I love you.
All right. Well, I love you too, honey.
All right. You have a good night.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.